This is a trailer for an upcoming game called Hunger, also pronounced Hunger. Get a look at some new Hunger gameplay in the latest trailer for the upcoming PvPvE first-person horror extraction shooter from the creators of Hell Let Loose. Now, Hell Let Loose, if you've not played it, it's like a really hardcore wartime, for lack of a better term, simulator. It's pretty hardcore. Like, there aren't even hit markers when you like hit enemies. It's very different. It's very, very different, but it's a good time. Honestly, I recommend you try it. The community is also phenomenal. Yeah, join the never expanding experience of Hell Let Loose, hardcore World War II first-person shooter with epic battles of 100 players, infantry, tanks, artillery, dynamic shifting frontline, unique resources, and RTS-inspired metagame. It's very good, and I've never played a game like this that's super hardcore, where like you hop into team chat, and like me and my buddy, we loaded in to play it one day, and we got paired into a team or a squad or whatever with another guy who had played the game for like 5,000 hours. But he was a veteran, and this was the game he played with his buddies, and it was like his hobby was this. He didn't play other games. This is what he played. And he was so welcoming, so helpful, just explaining how the game worked, helping us through it, helping us get it and understand it. It was so cool. And every time I've ever loaded into Hell Let Loose, the community is like that. It's an amazing thing. For a game about a really horrific time period in human history, an amazing community that's very kind and loving. So I got to give it to him. Hell Let Loose's community is phenomenal. I really recommend you check it out. But this game, Hunger, is their new PvPvE extraction shooter. Now, as I said in a previous segment, the next 2 years, buckle up, everything is going to be extraction based. Okay. I don't know what it is. I don't know what people are smoking, but the new meta apparently is extraction shooters. When I was at Bungie, everybody there said extraction shooters are going to replace battle royales. All the streamers that were there were saying extraction shooters are the future. I personally don't know if I believe that it's the future, but they seemed very confident, and they're putting hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, assuming that that's the case. But either way, let's look at this and judge it for ourselves, because this just dropped 3 days ago, and I've heard that it's quite interesting. Let's see. What a crazy shift for them.
Death hath cast its shadow o'er this land. All hope seemeth lost. Yet still thou dost fight. Why? What seekest thou in the dark? A touch of warmth? A gold coin or two? No. Deep within these folds of flesh, you and I both know. Death has judged us rightly. For we are but beasts, unworthy of salvation.
Golly. Wishlist now. Wow. Wow. You know what? It strikes a vibe. It really does. And what a crazy pivot for them. Like going from gritty, grounded World War II to sort of like spooky horror fantasy. Like, this is crazy. I also shout out hot air balloons. One of my favorite random missions in any game in recent memory was the hot air balloon bit in Red Dead 2. And hot air balloons don't get enough love. I'm gonna be real. Or like the giant Zeppelin bit in The Order 1886, also fantastic. You know, balloon-based air travel needs to make a comeback. I understand it's objectively worse than planes in every way, but I think, you know, I want to see it make a comeback. I want to see it. But it's such like an interesting shift for them. You can see like they have on the right side, they have the objectives. So they have some basic things that you'd be expected to do. In this case, find flour, sweet lubrication. Nice. Find 3 tavern wine, 3 thin mead, remains of the day, locate Pierrot's missing convoy on Jacques Bridge. Interesting. Some pretty straightforward activities, I think, for collecting stuff. They have the party members, they have the character levels outlined here. There is the hot air balloon back again. I'm guessing this is how you like travel to different maps. That's my guess. That'd be my guess. They also then show the inventory. So they have different currencies, gold, silver, and copper. It looks like they have the tool belt for different weapons, a consumable, a tool, a food item, maybe just water or a drink or like wine or spirits or something that give you little buffs and things. Reinforced range weapon chests. They have the item there. Equipment, so you can build your loadout. Items that you can bring with you. And again, it is an extraction shooter. So it's all tied around this loot that you find when you go into maps and stuff, which is... Again, it's the new meta. This is what they're doing. But I think that honestly, launching a game like this in early access is just frankly probably a better way of doing it. I understand that like there's the hope to just charge $40 for it and get it out the door and make tons of money day one. But I think these games rely so much on community feedback that you just launching it day one as a standard AAA release is just not as easy. So I think this is a good strategy for it. It seems really solid. One thing that you'll notice in all of this is where you see the Hell Let Loose inspirations. There's like no clear hit markers when you deal damage. So you see he shoots him. There's feedback. He shoots there. Those shots might have hit them and the feedback's just not super clear. But that's how it is in Hell Let Loose. Like you'll shoot other enemies and it hits them. But just like in real life, if the bullet whizzed through their shoulder or something, there might be a little reaction from them, but they're all adrenalined up. So there's not going to be like a massive X on their body and it's like, oh, you got them. You have to actually like take the time to investigate it and check it out and make sure that they're actually down. You don't get to just know supernaturally that they died or something. And it's interesting because it totally changes how you play these games. Like when you play Hell Let Loose, to have this slightly more hardcore element, and I believe Tarkov has this too, but like if you imagine that you're on like a rooftop, right? You're on a rooftop and you're just like sniping here. Oh, there I am. I'm sniping. And you've got other buildings over here. You've got maybe a little shed off over here. And then there's another player that you spot there. You shoot at them and you think you hit them. And they kind of go back behind the wall, but you can't see them anymore. You don't get to know if they're dead. A lot of other games, like Call of Duty even, will tell you, oh, Luke killed whatever character. So you know, okay, I don't have to worry about that. But because you don't get to know that in a game like Hunger or Hell Let Loose, you now are still going to be watching over here to see if they poke out from the other side. And after a minute or two, if they still haven't poked back out, maybe they are dead. Maybe you got them, but you don't know that for sure. So it makes you play way more cautiously. And if you're being pushed from the other side over here and they're going to be coming in and jumping you, you don't get to just assume that this guy's down. So now it totally changes how you deal with it dynamically, because if you knew this guy was dead, now you focus entirely on him. But if he might still be up, you're still going to be like backing off to this corner. You might hop off and run. It totally changes the dynamic of the encounter just with something as simple as not telling the people whether they're down or not. What's the drawing, Luke? How dare you doubt me? But I can understand why some people don't like the lack of hit markers and stuff, but I think it actually creates an interesting nuance to the game that I actually dig. Like if you're going to be hardcore, be hardcore. And I think that's one of the lessons from Marathon so far, is that like if you're going to be a low impact, more accessible, easier to approach or more approachable extraction shooter, that's fine. But you got to double down on all of that across the board, you know, because the hardcore players want something that's really hardcore. They don't want hand holding at all. They want to just really enjoy how hardcore it is. The game asks a lot of them, and they rise to the challenge. That's the key. But with some of these other extraction shooters, you know, they want to have it both ways. But this seems interesting. Tonally, it's interesting. And this is a big test for a game when they do the initial reveal. If it looks like something, oh, I could see checking that out. That already, you've overcome a major hurdle, because a lot of games, they get the initial reveal and people roll their eyes and immediately they're like, oh God. But with this, people see it and are like, ooh, that is very difficult. Also, shout out Hot Air Balloon again. I'm guessing this is the extraction point. You have to like find the hot air balloon on the map, and that's how you get out back to your base. That's what I'm calling it. I'm guessing. So I'm interested. This is called Hunger, latest game upcoming from the Hell Let Loose team. PvPvE extraction shooter coming to PC on Steam and Epic Games Store in 2025 into early access. And you can help shape the game, provide feedback, and grow it into what you want it to be. So there you go.